Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mind Over Madness. I'm your host Loomis with Mr.
Keith Shibley, sir. What
Keith
up?
Shibley. Very good, Keith. We
Thank
don't
you.
rehearse any. We don't rehearse anything here,
I thought
folks.
you
We
I
just
thought you were going to introduce me as your co-host.
well, you're not a guest. You're a host of the channel, so
Co-host.
feel free to chime in at any time. But I'm with Corporal Keith Shibley, who's a police officer who had worked with the FBI, did UC work when he was in Richmond, Virginia.
Mhm.
It was wild. And he sends me a video the other day that I want you all to see. Check this out.
What is it? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Damn. Boy, this shit crazy out here, boy. Real shit. God. This shit crazy. Hey, boy, this shit crazy.
Jesus, Keith. It's like that guy's just underneath the car. It's like a war zone though, right there. There's a dead body laying on the street. Like, is that how when you were working the streets there? Is that how it was always?
I mean, you definitely had some pretty good shootouts in the city when I was there. The difference is this is Shockoe Bottom. So, back in the early 2000s, this was like the happening bar scene that everybody went to. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, man, that place is just packed with every different kind of bar you can imagine. You know what I mean? You had like your dance clubs, you had your Irish pubs, you had your corner bars, you had your high end. So Shockoe Bottom is just the bottom.
What about where they were shooting at though? Like that was a place like where you would actually go into a bar, like right there in that street?
Oh yeah. I think, and I haven't been down to Shockoe Bottom since I don't drink anymore, but it's gotten a lot rougher the past 4 or 5 years, I think, man. Like, as far as chasing a couple good bars out of that area and stuff, man. There's been a lot of shootings and a couple murders down there in the past year or two.
A couple. I just watched like 2 bodies just get dropped.
Yeah, that just sounded like a freaking war zone, man. And I think eight people got shot, 2 died.
8. Yeah.
You know what I mean? The guy behind the car, you hear the bullet go, ping, which means it's pretty damn close to you.
Oh, yeah. I mean? That's what he was like. So, fuck. That's what he ducked under. Go ahead. Before I show our next clip, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let me preface the next clip, man. The problem with Richmond.
You don't want to react to it? You want to preference it?
Yeah. Let me just say this first, and then you can play it. The problem with Richmond City Police is this, and I've got a couple really good friends still there. Since the riots, where they were tearing down, the Confederate monuments on Monument Avenue, and the Richmond City cops were paid to protect city property, but they were also told that they could not fight back. They just had to stand there and take it. And a bunch of cops got seriously hurt doing that. Richmond City Police has lost a bunch of cops, man. I think when I was there, we had about 700, 750. I think they're down to about 400 cops, dude. And then you start having nights like that in Shockoe Bottom. Yeah, play it now, man. You'll see with the mayor of Richmond how he's going to combat the issue of people getting shot and murdered every weekend in downtown.
I'm going to at least preference it, though, one thing before but no, you know what? I'm not going to say a word. Let's just let the folks take a look.
Sure.
Aspect of that. So AJ, one of the strategies the Office of Gun Violence Prevention is working on is developing a team of community ambassadors who would not only do engagement of the businesses here, and so that they know that there are folks on the streets on Friday and Saturday nights, but that would actually be on the ground after midnight during weekend nights, when everybody's out and they're enjoying themselves. They would come out and there would be community ambassadors who would be roaming the streets, who would be a resource, and as clubs are closing down, would actually shepherd people home. And so that's part of the strategy that we're working on, pulling funding together for, hiring and training up folks for, that we had planned to launch early summer. Charles?
Mr. Mayor, these individuals would be unarmed civilians, correct?
That's right.
Okay. What are they going to do in
Well, it's a prevention strategy, right? When you have people who are on the street that, as a club lets out, the community ambassadors will say, okay, it's time to go home. We're clearing out the streets. Not everybody will, but even having that presence on the ground has been a really effective strategy in cities across the country. And just knowing, like, hey, we're clearing the area. There's no need to be out after 2 a.m. So, those folks would not be intervening in the midst of an event like we had last night. That's the role of law enforcement, and thankfully they were on scene almost immediately. But the presence of community ambassadors as a signal that, hey, night's over, let's get home. That's what we're going for with that strategy.
Now you're the
mayor of Richmond.
That's the mayor of Richmond. Now you're the guy that I really don't want to react on this, but I just have to say one thing. What was that?
Dude, it's just
unarmed.
It's the thought process of the United States now, man. Virginia is going to be the new California. I'm telling you. They're going to hire unarmed civilians to combat the gun violence in Shockoe Bottom. So what they're going to do is this.
How could that get approved? How could that get approved?
They want to put unarmed civilians out there. So at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, when hundreds upon hundreds of high drunk people are coming out of bars, you're going to have an unarmed civilian make sure that there's no guns
with a gun, though. What's that going to do with a gun? You know, they even say don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, they don't bring what? They got their hands.
So,
what is the thought process, though? They're going to get killed.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens when the first unarmed civilian gets shot in the head.
So they're going through with it. They're going
to try to think that they can do something, and they're going to confront a high drunk person that may be armed. Yep.
You don't think that was a gang that we just watched before?
Man, so Richmond's weird, dude. Richmond they do have the gangs, but a lot of them are just neighborhood gangs. They're not like
but still though. I mean, they could still shoot stuff. My question to you is like those two, because I didn't read the whole thing. I just watched the video with you. The two bodies that are dead. The one you see in the middle of the street, but it's blurred out. You don't think that was a hit? You just think it's rant?
To be honest with you, Loomis, I haven't read up on the victim, so I don't know. I would say it's probably not random, no. But then again, if two drunk people are in a nightclub and they're fighting, and then they kick everybody out because it's 3 o'clock and one goes to his car and gets his piece, it could have just been that, or it could have been gang stuff. I don't know.
Keith, I don't know how many guns did you hear going off?
Oh, I don't know, man. You got to.
That one though sounded like a 357 at the end. Did you hear that?
I don't know how many shots were fired. It sounded like over 20 to me.
Oh my God, it was insane.
But this is what you do, man. Because like I said, man, I got a bunch of good friends that are still in Richmond, and they're fucking pipe hitters, dude. You know what I mean? You pay your pipe hitters, SWAT team, whatever, overtime to flood Shockoe Bottom every weekend for 2 months, and you allow them to do their freaking job as a cop. Bust ass if you need to bust ass. Find the guns, find this, find that, and then guess what? People will stop bringing guns and stuff down to Shockoe Bottom. But you got to let the cops do it, man. An unarmed civilian is going to do jack shit.
I can't even believe
in Richmond.
I can't even believe that we're even talking about this. Like this is actually real. This is like real life. And like my point though is this: if they're having trouble though finding police, how are they going to find these unarmed civilians? Well, you know what? Because they probably don't have to go through. They don't have to go to an academy, anything like that. And some people are going to fucking probably think they want to play hero, and.
And the mayor,
is there people around this mayor that tells them no, sir? That is a retarded idea.
There is it's funny because it's like there are cities that have done this before. Which cities? Name them. Chicago. Has Chicago done this? Has Philly done it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, they've got a good chief now, man. That guy came up through. I mean, I didn't know him personally, but from talking to my buddies down there, people like him. They got respect for him. The problem is you got, Richmond City Council and city mayors hamstringing the cops, and they can't do their freaking job, man. It's just like, I just don't understand the logic of, and it's just like, where was I reading? somewhere. Oh, New York City. They're going to, because of the stupid mayor there. Cops are no longer going to EDP calls. They're going to send
Keith,
counselors and therapists to
just
EDP
for the
calls.
audience, explain EDP calls.
Emotionally disturbed person.
Okay.
So if someone is emotionally disturbed and their mother or whoever calls,
Like a
and they're
wellness
armed with a knife, or something,
Oh.
because the cop got stabbed and then the cop shot the guy, and the mayor from New York is, saying there's no reason that should have happened. So now you're going to send an unarmed therapist in there with an emotionally disturbed person with a knife. If he's going to stab a cop with a gun, guess what he's going to do to an unarmed 48-year-old woman that's a therapist?
Wait, what are you talking about? A therapist? I don't even know. What do you
So
mean?
New York City, they're going to stop
okay.
sending
So
cops
that's
to EDPs. They're going to send therapists and whatever.
Okay, so basically, these mayors are absolutely going to be getting. They're going to be getting civilians murdered.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one question? I mean, you've been with the force what 20? How many years?
Since 02, so whatever. What's that? 20.
So that's 24 years.
4 years.
You're almost at 25, my man. Good for you. But my point being, though, and you survived a lot. You know what I mean? You had to put someone down. You were in the Washington Navy Yard. That's the medals that are behind them, folks. He was the first one on the scene with our man Shay, and it was just insane. If you look back on the episodes, if you want to watch that episode and Crime and Demons with Keith to get his story, he's also been on Ian Bick as well. But just where does this has to get approved through city council? Like, do people think this is a good idea? Like, what is going on?
I don't know. All I know is if someone's breaking into my house with a gun, I'm gonna call my therapist before I call the police now.
Yeah, but
Maybe my therapist.
No, you're Keith. If someone breaks into your house with a gun, you're allowed to fucking put them down. You just can't shoot behind them.
We can't do that anymore. I'm gonna call my therapist and then hand them.
Can't protect yourself?
Speaker. I'm gonna put it on speaker, and then maybe my therapist can talk to the poor person who's breaking into my house to rob and kill me. Maybe my therapist can talk him down, and then we'll have a cup of coffee.